Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So if you are new here, welcome. My name is Sarah and I am an American expat living in Kraków, Poland. So I love living in Poland, so that's why I'm actually making a lot of videos recently about my life in Poland, my experiences that I've had here, and kind of why I think Poland is great from an American expat perspective. So if this is something you enjoy, I would love it for you to stick around. Please just hit that thumbs up button on this video, helps me out. Also subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on new videos every single Wednesday. And in today's video, it's going to be really exciting because I am talking all about the Polish language. And as you can probably see from the title of this video, it is all about very, very difficult words pronouncing in Polish. So for this video, I'm actually going to have the English word as well as the Polish word, so you can kind of try to say it with me. These are really difficult words. To be honest, I haven't actually looked at them. My husband came up with this video idea and he just handed me these words, and so we're just going to go through it together because I haven't looked at them yet and I'm a little nervous because Polish is really difficult. So if you are excited about this video, go ahead and stick around. Again, hit the subscribe button and let's go ahead and get started with how to pronounce these really difficult words in Polish. So before we get started, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the background of my experience in Polish language. So when I first moved here a few years ago, I decided to take Polish classes. So me and my husband enrolled in a one-year course for Polish, and we did 1 year of Polish language lessons. This included reading, writing, speaking. We went to classes about 3 hours a week, and then we did homework on top of that. So the classes were all taught in Polish. It was quite an adjustment learning Polish. But again, it was only a year of courses, and Polish is a very difficult language. So it took a year to get to A1 fluency. And if you are looking to get like a passport or any kind of permanent residency, you need to be able to speak B1 Polish. So it goes A1, A2, and then B1, B2, C1, C2. And C2 is like native level, top tier speaking Polish language. And so A1 is like very basic. It's just, you know, you say your name, you can get around, you can order at restaurants, you can have a very basic conversation about things. But if you start to get more in depth, then you definitely need to have a higher understanding of Polish. I'm actually going to try to pronounce some of the top 9 most difficult words to say in Polish. I'm saying top 9. I'm sure there's way more than that, and I'm sure you Polish people can give me a whole bunch of things to say that are just total tongue twisters. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started and see what happens. So, not including on these top 9 most difficult words to say, personally, I really struggled. Like when I was in class learning Polish, like the beginning Polish, I really thought that it was difficult to say even some of the numbers. So you have jeden, dwa, trzy, cztery, and cztery. Those were difficult for me to hear the difference of the sh and the zh, because just my mouth doesn't work like that. You know, I don't have like the muscles trained yet. My tongue doesn't know how to work that way. So those were very, very difficult for me to learn. You know, 30 and 40, to me, those sounded very, very similar. And so I struggled for a long time to hear those differences. So, I mean, I'm not going to put them on this list, but for me, those were some of the more difficult ones to learn. And also, you know, we went to Szczecin not that long ago, and Szczecin is difficult to say as well because you have the SZCZ. And in English, you don't have that at all. It's just, it was so hard with Szczecin, Szczecin, and just like kind of try to slur a few of those letters together in order to make the sh sound, because in America you don't really have those sounds in the English language, that is. So if I could include some that are not on this list, that's personally what I would include, but they're nearly the most difficult types of words that you could be speaking in Polish.
Rzuć.
Okay, so the first word on this list is zwój. I think that's how you say it. Zwój. Z-O, W, and C, all with accents and lines. So when you see an L with a line horizontally through it, it doesn't pronounce like an L, it pronounces like a W. So when you see that, it's not zolch, it's zwój. And I'm assuming I'm saying that right. I haven't practiced anything beforehand, so I'm assuming that's how you say zwooch.
Pszczyna.
Okay, the second word on my list is pshishna. Pshishna. Yeah, it's again having the S-Z-C-Z-Y. That makes it difficult for me. And then you start with a P, so pshishna. Is the P silent? Is it not silent? Pshishna. Yeah. That's pretty much how I equate Polish language is a lot of sh.
Następstw.
Okay, so the third word on my list, actually, we're getting more and more complicated here. My husband really is trying to do a doozy on me. So it's następstw. Następstw. I think. I'm not sure. Następstw. So over in the Polish language, you have an E with a tail, which means it's like an N sound. Następstw, you just say it that way. You don't say it like a regular E. You just have an E with a tail, which means something different. You have an A with a tail. It means like an om. So when you have it in the middle of the word, you have to make sure that you are pronouncing it correctly. And it's really hard when you have następstw, like I can say that, następstw, that's not a problem, but then you have the STW, all consonants right at the end. The W makes a sound, but like it's just difficult. So yeah, I probably butchered that one. So let's see how we progress from here.
Szymankowszczyzna.
Okay, fourth word. This one is quite a doozy. So this one is Szymankowszczyzna. Szymankowszczyzna. So hopefully I'm somewhere in the ballpark of being correct on that one. So there you go.
Zabrosine.
Okay, fifth word. We're getting more and more complicated here. This one is Shishabrzezin. Shishabrzezin. Again, I apologize a million times for saying this wrong, but this one's really difficult because you have the SZ-CZ combination, and then you have a BRZ combination, and then you have the ZYN. So anytime you just have groups of consonants, and just so difficult because in the English language you don't have these like the Z's and the C's combined, and it's just not really a sound that I've ever really learned to make with my mouth, and it's just really a training process in order to teach your brain and your mouth really to speak those correct languages or the correct sounds and really have it be something that's coherent, because that's something that I kind of struggle with, is just the need to just kind of slur everything together to just not make it sound so coherent. But that's definitely not how it works. You got to say it right.
Źdźbło.
Here we go. Sixth word that is very difficult to say in Polish is, I don't even know. It's you can see it here on screen. I'm just sitting here like, oh my gosh, how do I even say this? Zbło. Again, I apologize so much, but oh my gosh, like only one vowel in there, and Z and D and Z and wood. My goodness, that is a struggle.
Bezwzględny.
Next one, we are doing, it's Bez was Gwende? Bez was Gwende? Gwednie. Bez względnie. It's difficult. Polish. This is killing me.
Szczęście.
Okay, another word. We are now on number 7. So this word is Szeszeńcie. Szeszeńcie? Szeszeńcie. Yeah, you get it. I think in the Polish language, if you start to understand that there's like a lot of the combinations of like SZ, CZ, or like making that type of noise, you see it and you're like, oh yeah, I can understand how to pronounce like that little section, because it shows up quite frequently from what I found in different things. So yeah, like it's difficult, but once you kind of understand like that's how it is, then you just look at it and like, okay, well now I know how to say that. I really think the biggest thing though with Polish is just understanding the phonics and understanding that an E is not the same as E with a tail, or you know, shech is, you know, like that's how it's said, or she is different than like CIE is different than SIE, and you know, it's just like all this stuff. But and especially when you're doing like, you know, like the was or the W's or things like that, it's you just have to learn what they actually are. And I am by no means perfect, so this is really good practice for me actually.
Chrzciny.
A difficult word that you can say in Polish is kshur, kshrzini, kshrzini, kshrzini. I hope that is correct, but if not, then that is, you'll obviously hear the correct translation. So I actually need to go back when I'm done with this video and listen to all of them to see how I did. But yeah, sure zini. So there's that one.
Zdecydować.
And the last one is actually a verb. It looks like it ends in ować. In Polish language, you have a multitude of different verbs, and then you have to conjugate them based on who you're talking about. So you know, I, you, we, he, she, it, they, them, like that whole situation. You have like 7 different conjugations per verb, and so when you see a verb that's like it ends in ować or each or ach, you know, those are things that you would know that that's a verb, and you would conjugate it in certain contexts to the person you're talking about. So anyways, this one looks like it's a verb, so it is zadidzować, zadidzować, zadidzować. Yeah, anyways, it's a verb. Again, you'll have the translation up here on screen so you can see, but yeah, zadiczować, I guess. So if you were trying to say this verb of, you know, me or you in present form, it'd be different than it would be in past form or in future form. So there are just a lot of different things to remember in Polish language specifically of what tense you're talking about, who you're talking about, when you're talking about it, what situation you're talking about, like that kind of thing. So there you have it. Those are the 9 words that my husband picked out for me that seemed very difficult in Polish. And I definitely super struggled with this one because these are just really difficult. And, you know, like I'm actually have to look back and see what they actually are because I'm now curious to make sure I even said any of them right. So I hope you guys found this video entertaining, and hopefully you learned a little bit more about what the Polish language actually sounds like, because while I might have done a terrible job at pronouncing it, Google will not do a terrible job at pronouncing it for you. So I hope you guys found this video exciting and super fun to watch, because I think languages are so fascinating, and I really love it when people try to learn a new language. And you know, like we always get so much feedback because we try to go out in public and speak Polish to people. If they speak English back to us, you know, we'll definitely speak English, but we do try to go out and we do try to speak Polish to people. And you know, we just always say like, excuse me, I'm learning spróbuję po polsku, and they just, oh, okay, yeah, you're learning, that's okay. So we found very quickly that if we tell people that we are learning Polish, and they are much more lenient to be more gentle to us, instead of us just going and talking Polish and all of a sudden they just start talking in Polish and we're like, I lost you after the first few sentences. So I'm glad that we are learning Polish, and I definitely want to continue, but right now it's just kind of like at our own pace. So that is the video for today. If you guys have any video suggestions about things you want to be learning about Poland, or things you want to see from me regarding Poland, you know, I'm definitely not Polish, but I am an expat and I live here, so I can definitely be telling you guys like my experience and what I'm seeing as an expat coming to Poland from America. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for new videos every single Wednesday. And you know, I will definitely see you guys in my next video, which again is going to be next week. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next week.